Where's our main camera? That one. Okay. You're hot. All right. Hi, guys. Hi. All right. Welcome to our next episode of What Your Friends Won't Tell You. We're starting our stream about a minute early, as you know, because we just want to make sure everything is working properly. And so it sounds like we sound good.
Let us know if we don't.
Let us know if we don't. And also that you can see us, all those things. And guess what? Today we have a studio audience. Take a look at our group here. We are sponsored today by Ocean West Property Management. And this woman in the pink over here, Diane Evans. And she chose this location because she manages some of the properties in here, some of the units. So that's why we're at the Grove Condos in Delray Beach. So if you're in the area, come on down and watch the full production live right now, because we are going to be live in just a couple of minutes. How many minutes, Bruce? Or how many seconds?
None.
Oh, none. All right, we're starting now. On today's episode of What Your Friends Won't Tell You, making a major life change. Quit your job, follow your passion, end your relationship. The one positive personality trait that is holding you back. You have one in your. I'll show you how I quit my 25-year career and started over at 45.
Well, how can you be a...
Plus, Shannon's tools that will give you the courage to take the leap. And the hidden horoscope in the most unlikely place that we are calling the best thing ever. What Your Friends Won't Tell You starts right now. This episode of What Your Friends Won't Tell You is brought to you by Ocean West Property Management in Delray Beach. All right, welcome everyone to What Your Friends Won't Tell You. I'm Suzanne Boyd.
And I'm Shannon Thompson-Jones.
All right, and today we are live at the Grove Condos in downtown Delray Beach. We are sponsored by Ocean West Property Management. And the owner, Diane Evans, actually chose this spot. It's a gorgeous spot, Diane.
Beautiful.
Thank you for inviting us here, and thank you for sponsoring the show. We really appreciate it. And today's topic really speaks to Diane. It speaks to me. It speaks to you.
Most of us, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
I think a lot of us can relate to this topic. It's finding the courage to make a major life change, to start over.
In the middle of your life.
In the middle of your life, right.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's easy to start over, I guess, when you're in your 20s. Though I don't know if it's ever
That's just
easy
called
to,
starting, I think.
I don't know if it's ever easy to start over or to make a major life change, whatever that looks like to you. You know, for me, it was leaving a 25-plus year career just in the last few months and pouring all of my energy into this, into What Your Friends Won't Tell You. So that has been something that a lot of people have said to me, oh, Suzanne, you make it look so easy. And I just laugh at that because it has been...
It's been a little bumpy.
It's been very bumpy, and I don't think people realize going into these transitions how difficult they're going to be.
You didn't realize.
I didn't realize.
Yes.
And maybe some people on the flip side think, I don't want to do it because I know how difficult it's going to be.
Well, I think we're just scared of change, right? There's just a blanket statement. We're just scared of change. But I think the thing that was so difficult for you is that you really underestimated it. And I think a lot of us underestimate. It was like, okay, I've got this. This, you know, this is going to be great. I'm going to have lots of time off and take a break. She's yet to take a break. We're waiting for the break.
I've done yoga once or twice.
Okay. But it was a lot. It really hits you, and you've walked through it beautifully. But it's a lot. Change is very difficult and very scary for a reason.
Yeah,
it's big.
So this came up because you know, we were talking about a lot of people in our lives. My friend Lori, that's a stay-at-home mom that now wants to get back into the workforce. My friend Tina, who left a 30-year career as an orthodontic assistant and wanted to be a massage therapist. Right. You know, Diane, who is a stay-at-home mom and decided she wanted to start owning her own business and start getting back into the career woman, you know? And so I think this has happened to a lot of people, but it was interesting because, you know, my friend Tina her whole thing was, I'm awful at this. I'm not going to be able to do this. Right. And her insecurity about making that change was so intense, like she couldn't stop talking about it.
Well, this is my favorite rule, is that when we try to change careers, we have a feeling that comes up. It's called incompetency. Can anybody relate to that? Incompetency, inadequacy.
Everyone's like, yes.
Yes. But here's what's so profound. what they say about this is incompetency and inadequacy is among one of the most difficult feelings to endure. So what happens is you try to make a change, you feel inadequate, of course, because you had this nailed, you were doing it for 30 years.
You could do it in your sleep.
In your sleep.
Right.
Now you're doing this and you feel stupid and you feel incompetent, but what happens is people will quit immediately because they can't tolerate that feeling. It's the most intolerable of feelings. So that's profound.
Is that a certain personality trait? Like I feel because I'm a perfectionist.
Yes.
And so, you know, if I can't do something immediately, perfectly, then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
Absolutely.
You know?
If I had $1 for every time I've heard that statement, I'd be a billionaire, because definitely perfectionists believe that we should do everything perfect the first time.
Yeah.
Right? The first time, right out of the box. And if I can't do it perfectly, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Think about it. Anything you do might take 6 months, it might take a year. I mean, for me, the gym has taken like 17 years. I'm going to nail it soon. I mean,
how's that working for you, Shannon?
It's not working. But it takes time.
Yeah.
And we don't have time. When you're a perfectionist, you really need that feeling of competency. And it's so uncomfortable that what happens is people just quit. They just quit and they go back to what they know.
I see that in my daughter. You know, she has this, you know, and I thought it was just, you know, people my age, because, you know, we've been doing the same thing for so long and we're used to it and we know we're good at it. But my daughter, who's 13, you know, if she's not good at a sport right away, she's like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're not supposed to be good at it in the beginning. That's why you practice, you know?
This is a true story. My daughter was at daycare. They called me from daycare to tell me, we have a problem with your daughter. She will not ride the tricycle. I'm like, I'm working. I don't really know what this is about, but you're going to have to talk to me later. So they're like, no, it opens up a part of her brain. She has to master riding her tricycle. And she wouldn't do it because she couldn't do it right. She couldn't do it perfect the first time. She was done with it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a big thing.
You know, and I think it's not just a perfectionism thing with a lot of people. I've heard this from a lot of women and men that I've talked to about making a change, that they also are not sure what they want to do.
Yes.
So they don't know what their passion is, you know, or figuring that out. It's very difficult for them. And even for me, like, I knew I loved to be creative. I knew we already had this show going and I wanted to continue it. But even I was like kind of, you know, floundering a little bit because people were offering me to do this or do that. And I was like, well, maybe I like that, you know?
And not knowing what you want to know.
And not knowing really what you want to do.
Or the flip side of that, my story is I decide I cannot do it before I even give it a try. So for me, this was my dream. My whole life, this was my dream. I've talked myself out of it for 40 years. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I can't do that. I don't have any experience in that. So
your dream was to be on TV.
To be on TV. I was a singer, a dancer when I was a kid, and I wanted to do something. But every time something came up, the only reason I got this gig and Channel 12 was because I made a decision that year I would say yes to anything that anybody offered me. And Suzanne said, I want you to come do live TV. And I was like, well, I can't. I was like, I promised I would say yes. I mean, it was physically painful because I always would say to people, oh, you know what, I don't have the time.
And I gotta tell you, I mean, the first time you put this woman on camera, it was like she'd been on camera a million times. I mean, it's crazy that you had that fear surrounding that, because you really, like, you turn on. And even when we were doing the first On Location show at ACP, I was like kind of a nervous wreck because we had a lot of people and I was a little nervous, and she was like, cool as a cucumber. And I'm like, who's the professional here? You know?
But we sabotage ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't, you know, we say no. I had a million reasons why I could, and she's the best, because I remember saying to her once we were going to do a topic on Channel 12 and it was on sexuality, and I said, I need to be full disclosure. I am not a sex therapist. I am not trained. I do not have my CSAT. I cannot. And she's like, would you stop it? You can do this. You can talk about anything. But, you know, so that's important too, is make a decision to say yes and stop talking yourself out of it, and have a fan, you know, talk to the people that are supportive in your life. That's because we can just sabotage ourselves.
Yeah, and I do have to tell a little story, and I've told this before, so some of you may have heard it, but Shannon, when she got on camera and we were doing a story about 50 Shades of Grey and sort of like the psychological, like why women were so attracted to these books and these movies, and she said, well, women are like crock pots. You gotta stir them.
You gotta turn them on. They have to simmer
simmer all day.
Long.
And then men are like microwaves. They're like, boop, ready to go. And she said that on camera, and we were like, that is amazing, you know? And everyone loved it. So, I mean, what the things that she says and the way she puts things are just so brilliant, and you know, that's how we found each other, right? Yeah.
Because I said yes, and you are relentless.
Yes.
Yes. And tenacious, and
Yes.
I thank you.
All right, so we want to talk about some of the tools that will help you to take that leap. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, well, it sounds all fine and good, but how do I do that? And you know, I recognize that a lot of you were thinking, money. I got to pay the bills. And that was a huge fear for me too. So some of Shannon's tools, I think, will really kind of help you get past that fear and help you to take the leap. So coming up, we're going to open up Shannon's toolbox. So stay with us here on What Your Friends Won't Tell You. We'll be right back. Ocean West Property Management was born out of a love for people.
Hi Barb, how are ya?
The owner, Diane Evans, has spent her entire life in the hospitality business in southern Palm Beach County. Her parents owned the Delray Arms Hotel, where Crane's Beach House now sits in downtown Delray.
My parents purchased a hotel here in Delray back in 1983. It's the year I graduated high school, and I just kind of followed them, and I was with them the whole 20 years that they ran the hotel.
Diane specializes in helping South Florida condo owners make money on their property by turning their vacant homes into vacation rentals.
If a owner is looking to rent their property out and they want to get the most for their money, I can do that. You know, it's no problems. We make sure everything's done from start to finish. We take care of everything. You just get a check in the mail once a month.
Ocean West Property Management handles every aspect, from marketing your listing to handling the payment and making sure your guests are comfortable and have everything they need.
These single-family homes and the condo units, they rent out very well.
Many of her guests return year after year because customer service is Diane's #1 priority. Ocean West Property Management handles all of your property needs, from managing luxury properties, condos, and beach rentals to home checks. There is no service too big or too small. Call Diane at Ocean West Property Management and start making income off of your home today. 561-632-6521. All right, so you just saw we are sponsored by Ocean West Property Management and
was
Diane
born out of a
Evans,
love
who
for
you just
people.
heard a little bit about her story. She really is an amazing woman. She brought us here to the Grove condos, which are because she manages some of the units here in this condo complex.
It's beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful.
isn't it? So make sure you hit up Diane Evans and Ocean West Property Management if you need any property management.
By the ocean, or just for the
anything,
summer, for the winter.
She does it all. Big or small, that's her tagline. All right, we want to, before the break, we talked about finding the courage to start over. And I think this resonates with a lot of people. We just had someone comment on our Facebook feed. Bobby Joe from Sebastian says, you know, I'm 33, I have 2 kids.
Scary.
I'm about to start over, and I am like really scared.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I will say before you get into your toolbox that, you know, there's a lot of faith that has to go into this too.
Faith in something bigger than yourself, even if it's just the universe will provide.
Right.
The spiritual piece is very big.
It's very big. So you cannot forget that little spiritual angle.
Yeah.
Little, I say little, it's huge.
It's huge.
I mean, really you have to get in touch with yourself and find the confidence within yourself and kind of let go of some of those insecurities and just trust that the universe has your back and that you are going to be okay.
And believe in yourself.
And believe in yourself. But there's also some pretty concrete tools that Shannon has for you as well that'll kind of help you make that leap. All right, so first of all, what's your first tool?
So the first tool is, we talked about perfectionist, jump out of the boat immediately.
Yeah.
So we cannot, if you want to see something come to fruition, you have to put the time in, right?
Yeah.
So make a commitment up front. Even if you're on shaky ground, make a commitment. 6 months. I started with 6 months, and then over the week I decided a year. Because actually we've been doing this a year.
Yes.
And then now it's turned into something even bigger. So make a 6 month to 1 year commitment. Any change you're going to do, you're going to write a book, you're going to be a yoga instructor, whatever it is, make a 6 month to a year commitment so that you can gain the competency. I remember we were talking about our kids not wanting to do something. I took Hannah skating. She hated it. She was literally yelling at me from the skating. I hate you. I don't want to do this. And I said, you have to do this, and you have to do it until you know how to do it. And then if you hate it, you can quit.
Decide. Right.
So do it until you can do it well. And then you decide if you can quit, which is about 6 months to a year for most things.
Right. And the interesting thing is we started, like Shannon said, about a year just doing videos, very low budget from my living room with my iPhone. And then when I quit my job, I decided it was going to be a full-time gig. But we weren't making money at that point.
For a year, which is about what the stats show for a year.
So you're not going to be making money in the beginning. So that leads us into our second tool, which is don't quit your job.
Don't quit your day job.
That's right. Don't quit the job.
You heard it here. Do not call us and say, I can't feed these two children. Nobody told you to quit your day job. Right? And you know what? Here's the thing. So I work a very busy 5-day, I'm a psychotherapist in the office, private practice. You guys have been watching Suzanne. She was waking up about 1:30 a.m. every night.
2:30.
And then 2:30, and then doing 10-hour days and has children. We were both working very, very hard.
Very hard.
But we love this. Passion will get you through anything. So because we were passionate and we loved it, we got together every Saturday.
Yep,
right?
every
and did
weekend.
6-day work weeks, but we loved this so much it didn't even feel like work, right? So don't quit your day job. Stay in your job. Sometimes you can alter things. You forget to ask. Sometimes you can do that 40-hour work week. You can work 4 10-hour shifts and then take Friday, Saturday, Sunday. As a therapist, I have many friends who run treatment centers and they do part-time private practice, 2 evenings a week and on Saturday. But do that. Keep your day job and then do this part-time on the side and build it over that 6 months to a year.
And there are really no excuses on doing that, because I know like, oh, I'm too busy, or I can't, or I don't have the time. It's really, if you really want to do it, you will find the time. And here's the other thing. We are living in an age right now where you have the ability to work a 9-to-5 job, and then from 6 to 8 or 6 to midnight or however much time you want to spend on it, there's so much digital access to everything. This is a digital show, and we did this digitally, so you have that opportunity to do things. If you're making jewelry and you're putting it up on Etsy, that's something you can do after your regular work hours. Whatever your passion is, you can find the time. And now with these tools, social media and all the digital tools at your fingertips, that is free. There really is no excuse that you can't go out and do these things that you really, really love and do it on the side.
Even graduate schools do part-time. There's a weekend graduate school. Even schooling, if you need to go back to school, that's the big one. I can't go back to school. I don't have time. They have all kinds of programs and online schooling.
All right, and the third tool, I love this one because it will make you stay accountable.
Speak it into existence. Tell everyone you know about your dreams. I cannot tell you, I was thinking about this week. How did we get all these amazing people that work with us, that do this with us? All we did is we told everybody.
We told everybody,
this is what we want to do, this is what we're doing. And all of a sudden we get these amazing people that come out of, the woodwork that you haven't seen for years. Oh, Shannon, I ran into this person, or I found out this person's got a private company. It's amazing, and that's how it works across the board.
And a lot of people say, oh, well, I don't want to tell people what I'm doing, or I'm going to keep it on the, the DL, but in reality, unless you're going to get in trouble with your current job, there really is no reason that you can't be telling everyone. And that's how you find your helpers. It really is, because when I told everyone that this was what I intended to do, Bruce came to me, and Jean came to me, and Lori came to me, and I found Steph, and I found Brendan. So I found all of these people because I had spoken it.
Yeah, you spoke it into existence. When I started the Feel Good Bag with Ashley Bennett 100 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing. I was at a baseball game, and I just decided to just tell anybody who would listen. I'm talking to an old friend out of the blue. Hey, it's so good to see you. Start telling him about the Feel Good Bag. And his wife, he's like, I want you to meet my wife. I tell her, she's like, hold on a second. She pulls out her phone, true story, calls her dad, who's a patent lawyer. Hey, Dad, can you just handle this for my friend? She's an old friend of Glenn's, and can you just do it for free? Just handle it. Just get her a patent, do everything. And that's our patent lawyer for this,
Wow.
right? The most amazing, and she just made one phone call. I didn't even have to go to the office. I mean, that's how it happens when you just tell
Right.
people, you speak it into existence. So
Yeah.
spread it to everyone.
And the signs are definitely there. You just have to recognize them, right? Okay, so we want to give resources because I think this is a very important part. You know, we're not your only resource. I think that, you know, we've learned a lot of this because, you know, as you all know, I read 10,000 books.
Simultaneously.
That's right,
Which is very
simultaneously.
clever.
It is true, simultaneously. But this first book was actually your idea, What Color is My Parachute?
Yeah, that What Color is My Parachute? And it's an older book, but just I know it's helped some people that I know to just get an idea of what you're good at. It's kind of like seeing that career counselor in college that kind of is like, well, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? There's some tests in there. But basically for people that are changing midlife, they've been doing this forever and they don't even really know what they're good at or what they want to do. You talked about that. What do I want to do?
Yeah.
So that's one resource as well.
The other one that I love is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And I read this book probably 2 years ago. And it is just one of those books that if you're on the verge and you're not really sure you want to take that leap, like this will help you take that leap. Because, I mean, the book is just, I mean, I think the title says it all.
Yes.
You are a badass.
Yes.
It really gives you that confidence and shows you kind of the steps that you can take to really get that confidence. Because a lot of us, you know, have a lot of these insecurities, and that's what's holding us back.
Most of us. I think most people have the insecurities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last one, and this was a huge motivation for me to leave CBS 12.
Yep.
I can't tell you enough about this guy. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk, and he has a podcast. He has Facebook watch videos. He has Instagram videos. I mean, you can find he has books. Yeah. But if you are really looking for that motivation, he is amazing. And he is one person that I listen to every morning when I would drive to CBS 12 at 2:30 in the morning. I would listen to his podcast, and it really changed the trajectory of my life because I really started to believe what he was saying.
Yes.
And it's all about there are no excuses. You have the skills. You just have to work. I mean,
he's a gym trainer. He's a gym trainer.
He really is.
Yes.
But I love him.
Yeah.
And I actually got to interview him. It's
Yes.
funny because right before I left CBS 12, he was coming down here for a conference, and I
You went to
hit up
Miami,
his-
right?
I went to
You went to
Miami. I
Miami.
hit up his people. I'm like, can we get a one-on-one with Gary V? And they were like, sure. So I went down there to his conference, and we were the only media that got an interview with him.
Wow.
And he's just a really motivational, great guy. And I think if you're on the fence about whether or not you want to make a change, really dive into Gary V. And he always says, when you don't need me anymore, you will stop listening to me. And I've stopped listening to him.
Wow.
Like, I haven't listened to a Gary V podcast and I can't tell you how long because I got what I needed.
Yeah.
And it's like the same thing with a lot of these books. You know, I think, you know, you can keep reading and reading and reading, but when you're ready to make the leap, you'll notice that you're not reading as much. And because you're ready to take action.
He literally put you on fire, though. I remember.
He put me on fire.
He lit you on
He
fire.
did.
He did. No,
And you know, he
was
doesn't work
amazing.
for everyone. He's a little brash. He uses curse words a lot, which I love. As you know, the title, You Are a Badass, and he says the F word and the S word all the time, and I'm like, yes, Gary. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely a little brash, and he's not for everyone, but you know,
He'll give you the push
if you're
you
looking
need.
for a light under your ass, he'll do it. Okay, still ahead, what we're calling
The best thing ever.
All right, and I found this when I was on a wellness retreat in Naples from one of the women who was on this wellness retreat with Lori and I, and she told us about this hidden horoscope, and I'm telling you, it will change your life. It is so accurate, it's crazy, but it's hidden in the most unlikely place. That's coming up next on What Your Friends Won't Tell You, so stay with us. Shannon and I started What Your Friends Won't Tell You because we wanted a way to put out good content in a raw and authentic format. We don't script our shows, and we are pretty honest about what's going on in our lives and the mistakes that we've made in the past. You know, we want these shows to bring you joy and the feeling that you're not alone and that you can handle life's challenges with grace and a little bit of humor. but we also want this show to succeed. So if you own a local business and would like us to bring What Your Friends Won't Tell You and all the social media exposure that comes with it to your business, or if you want to support us through advertising, contact me, Suzanne, at WYFWTY.com. That's the acronym for What Your Friends Won't Tell You. That's Suzanne at WYFWTY.com. Thank you. Welcome back to What Your Friends Won't Tell You, sponsored today by Ocean West Property Management. You can reach Diane at 561-632-6521, and she just launched her brand new website, oceanwestpm.com. Go check her out. If you have any relatives that are up north that have a vacant home down here that they need to be managed and need to make some money off of them, call Diane. She also does luxury home checks, luxury properties, so she does it all. So check out Diane. She's amazing. There she is in the pink. Hi, Diane. Thank you, Diane. All right, now let's get to the best thing ever. And, you know, I just love this segment because it really is just whatever we're talking about and whatever we think is the best thing ever, you know, that week. And this popped up. I went on a wellness retreat in Naples a couple of weeks ago, and one of the women there was telling us about this hidden horoscope. And it's in a clothing store website. Believe it or not. Okay, so let's roll the video. I want to show you where it is. So if you go to loft.com, which is Ann Taylor Loft, okay? Loft.com, and then that's, you know, a clothing website. Go to the search bar and type in horoscope, okay? And this horoscope, and then it'll get you down and you just put in, you know, I'm a Gemini, so you click Gemini or whatever you are. This horoscope, it is so accurate, it is scary. Like, go and read the one that's on there right now so it does weekly, it does monthly, and then it does yearly. And go and read the one for this week for your sign, and I bet you will be like, oh my goodness, like that's crazy, you know? But it comes out every Sunday, and Lori and I are obsessed because Lori and I went on this retreat together, and now every Sunday she's like, why isn't our horoscope up yet? Like, when are they going to drop on Sunday? Because it only comes out once a week. So the interesting thing that I found, Lori, when I was just doing it, is you can go to the bottom of it and it says, shop for your sign. And it shows you clothes that Geminis might like.
Oh, stop.
So listen,
Wow.
Ann Taylor Loft is no fool. I mean, they're trying to sell, but I mean, the horoscopes are really...
Were they accurate? Did they pick your style?
No, no. I mean, there were some cute things, but they were, yeah,
You're
not
not
really
a loft
my style.
girl.
I'm not a loft girl. No, I mean, I like some of their loft things, but yeah, it was amazing. And speaking of clothes,
Yes, speaking
our
of the best clothes ever.
are from
Periwinkle.
Periwinkle. Yes, here on
Yes.
Atlantic Avenue in
So
downtown
fun.
Delray Beach. Thank you to Carrie, the owner of Periwinkle, Coco and Company, Morley. They have amazing, amazing clothes.
Yes.
They're my style.
Yes, absolutely. And
So
their staff is wonderful.
They are.
So kind. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so our clothes, courtesy of Periwinkle, also our jewelry as well.
Yes.
So, all right, let's talk about a mantra because we really believe that if you repeat something over and over again, you will start to believe it in your brain.
Yes.
And this mantra has actually been my mantra for about 5 years now.
Yes, absolutely. So be brave, you got this. It's very clean and to the point,
Yeah.
but it's the bottom line. Suzanne has been saying for years, since the day I met her, that she says every day, be brave. And it was funny because when you first said that, I wasn't sure. I'm like, what does that mean? And then I went through some scary times and I was walking around my house going, be brave.
Be
So, and
brave.
it really, really works. But be brave, you've got this.
So at the end of every journal entry, I say, be brave. A friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine, gave me a picture and it says, be brave, and I hung it in my bedroom. Some of my passwords. No, I'm not going to tell you the whole password, but some of my passwords are be brave because I feel like if you keep reminding yourself those things, like it will happen. So just tell
Absolutely.
yourself, be brave, you got this. And that really fits for, I think, today's episode.
Yeah, because there'll be a lot of days that you feel really scared moving forward because change is scary. But be brave because you have this. You really do.
You got this. Yeah, just have that confidence in yourself. I think that was the hardest thing. And realize that no matter what you do, transitions are going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. I mean, but that's where you grow. You know?
Well, that's what makes it worth it. I mean, if it comes easy, you don't even really appreciate it. You know, it's when you work hard and then you go, wow, look at what you've created.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
I would say the first 3 months are going to knock you on your on your tail, which is what
pajamas.
happened to me. But once you get past those first 3 months, you start to feel a little better and like the anxiety subsides.
Once you get past the panic attacks,
that's right.
You'll be fine.
When I wasn't coming out of my bed with the curtains over. But you got this, so be brave. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
you for coming out. Thank you to our audience.
Yes, thank you, Diane.
We want to thank you to Diane Evans, Ocean West Property Management.
Yes.
Please give her a call if you know anyone who needs any property managed or home checks or any of that. She basically just does everything for you and just gives you a check at the end of the month, which is pretty amazing. If you've got a vacant home down here in South Florida that needs to be managed, she can make that happen. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter. We give you information on all of our studio audience shows. Just go to our website, WYFWTY.com, and you can sign up for our newsletter right there on our website. Also, don't forget to share and like and comment on our videos. That is like the biggest gift you can give us, because we just want more people to learn about what your friends won't tell you and sort of our message that we're giving people.
And sign up on YouTube.
Sign up on YouTube, yes.
follower.
YouTube is our other platform that we're like trudging along on.
102 or something.
That's right. We need some more young audience members apparently.
Please.
My 13-year-old loves YouTube. I don't watch YouTube so much, but we do. But definitely, if you're on YouTube, go subscribe to our channel as well. All right, Diane, you're amazing. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. And we're going to end the show now, but don't go away because we're going to answer some questions on the back end on the live stream. All right, have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Oh my God.
All right, guys, we're back here in Delray Beach. Come on by. We've got champagne.
Yes.
We've got some fruit.
Do we still have champagne? I don't know. We've had people in charge of the champagne.
Bob, did you drink all the champagne? Or Sarah? Bob and Sarah were the champagne drinkers. I think Sarah has a bottle by her.
I love it.
Oh wait, Dana has the bottle. It's all right. We have more. All right. Does anyone have a question? Anyone want to know anything? Anyone want some therapy from Shannon? Just kidding.
Just on the afternoon in the lawn.
That's right. Go ahead, Sarah.
So when is that moment? Like you said, like Suzanne was saying, three months until, you didn't feel like you were like, oh my gosh, what did I just do with my life? And
Right.
all these different things. What are the signs that you should see in the road?
They're telling you, like, and I love that you guys always talk about the metaphysical or the bigger picture.
Yes.
What are those signs that when you know that, like, hey, it's hard, but I'm getting there?
Yes.
Because I think I think those are the signs that we're all knowing that are coming,
Right.
but we don't know how to necessarily look out for them. So what are those signs?
Well, I want to answer that in opposite direction. When I'm a very spiritual person, and when I am doing the right thing every door opens. It frightens me, right? So it's like when we started to work together, vision boards are a spiritual thing, right? So I did a vision board literally 5 years ago, and when I was doing the vision board, I had this feeling I was supposed to put a giraffe on the board, and I'm like, really, I'm not so much for giraffes. Like, they're cute. I'm more of a dolphin girl. Like, I'm like, really, giraffe, stop looking at me. But it kept calling me. I'm like, this is stupid. But I put it on there because it kept calling me. So here, 4 or 5 years later, 3 years later, I'm sitting at Suzanne's house. We're going to do our first live show, and I'm scared, and we don't know if it's going to work, and all of that not knowing. And I sit down in this chair facing her bar, and I turn my head to the left, and that giraffe, the same one on my vision board, is sitting right there on the wall. And I said, where did you get that giraffe? And she said, oh, well, I was running one day, and I was running with my stroller with my child, and I felt compelled to get
buy it.
I went home and got money.
I wasn't a giraffe person.
Right.
Yeah. I ran home with my child to get money and came back and bought that.
I have to have it. And she said, and it's the only thing I took with me in my divorce, like that picture.
He tried to keep it, and I said, nope. I went back one day into the house, and I took the giraffe and replaced it with like another giraffe that wasn't as pretty. I said, I'm going to take that giraffe. He didn't even notice.
So the answer is the doors will open. When you are walking into a wall over and over and over again, that is a sign that is not the direction. We bought podcast equipment. That didn't work.
We did so many. I mean, this wasn't like a fluid thing. Yeah.
No,
we bought podcast equipment. We started doing videos on the street. Like all of it didn't. It was very weird.
It didn't go well. We were very clear there was a wall there. So we just kind of kept bouncing off the walls until the door opened, and then it just opened all the way up. So follow that. When things are easy, they're right.
Yeah. You know, and I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me yesterday. I was really kind of stressed about this show because I'm like, I'm a control freak, and I can control a lot. I feel like I can control a lot of things in my life, though I've learned that I can't. And so when I was very nervous for whatever reason that, hey, we're out in the open, like you can't control the weather, and like we're going to have a big group. And I just got really nervous. And so I do this thing where I soak my feet in hot water. And so I went and soaked my feet in hot water, and I got this book that I love called Change Me Prayers. It's by Tasha Silver. And I just open it up to whatever book, to whatever speaks to me. I'm just like going to open it up. I opened it up, and the whole message was about asking the divine for a sign. And so if you're confused or if you're worried about something, like just say, give me a sign, and please make it crystal clear, because I'm not really good at the sign thing. Like I see a palm tree, and that's amazing, So I said, I need something clear so that I know when I go into the show tomorrow that everything's going to be okay. And I'm going to get upset. So I'm getting in my car to come here, and in my driveway are 2 doves. And it's a sign. I mean, they were cooing, and they're like, and they were so pretty, and then they flew away once I got in my car. And I was like, that's my sign, that everything's going to be okay, So I think you really have to ask for the signs.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
And be okay. And you could even say, like, show me a dove, or show me a cardinal. Not show me a dog. I mean, not show me something that you're gonna show me some grass. Like it needs to be something. Show me a rainbow. Just something that will really help you know that you're on the right path.
And you will be blown away.
You'll be blown
careful
away
if you ask for a sign, because it will blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It will.
Great question. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Any more questions? Is everybody still somewhat sober?
I am, and that sucks. I'm just kidding.
Tanya, my sweet friend Tanya.
It's not really a question as much as a comment. And the comment is this, is like, when you were talking about making those changes, I think it's really important to have like-minded people around you building you up. because I know when I was going through a lot of change, I mean, Shannon, you were my person. I would call and you would be like reminding me of my strength, reminding me of what I've already been through, reminding me of my goal. And we need that, you know, when we get low, to remind us where we're going.
Yeah.
So to surround ourselves around like-minded people who care for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
People that believe in us.
And you know, also recognize when you are in that low place, because that's not a good time to make a decision, you know? And so, you know, I think you really need to, you know, if you're feeling chaotic, if you're feeling like out of balance, you know, that's not a time to say, this isn't working, or, you know, you really want to get yourself back up to, you know, a higher vibration and sort of feeling better, because that's when you make clear decisions and you know what's right for you. You know, I think in the last month I've really, you know, dedicated myself again to meditating every single morning. I spend 10 minutes just taking some time for myself. You know, I move my body, and it doesn't have to be something crazy, you know, just going for a walk or walking the dog, like really focusing myself back on what makes me feel good. And I feel like I've made a lot better decisions in the last month than I have in the last 5 years. I mean, to be honest with you.
To that point where you can just focus on that and say, I'm going to do this.
Right, because I'm sorry, what did you say?
So
How do you get to that point?
Or just going to do that and say, you know what, I need to focus, I need to not have the distraction of, say, social media, whatever, and say,
Right.
I'm going to do this for myself.
Well, you know, I mean, to be honest, because I hear you about social media, because I have that, and, you know, I want to pick up my phone right away when I wake up, and I want to have it, you know, right before I go to bed at night, and I really have to stop myself. Like I say, an hour before bedtime, no phone. And right when I wake up, I'm not going to go check social media. I meditate the first thing if I can, you know, if I'm taking the kids to school or whatever, I have to wait until I get back. But you know, it's just really telling yourself that you're going to do that and reminding yourself, you know, and it's also like my phone is my alarm. So it's right there by your bedside. If you can go buy an alarm, so it's not, and you really have to train yourself not to pick it up. Because I hear you, Michelle. I know. I mean, but it messes with your head. Like it messes with your head.
It disconnects you from yourself.
It does.
It disconnects you.
You know, this morning I woke up and I will tell you that I started, because I knew I had to post some stuff before the show, and like I started to get in the crazy brain, like the spinny brain, and I felt like a little bit like I was out of control. I'm like, Suzanne, you have to put this down, go walk on the beach, go meditate, do what you need to do, because you do not want to get in this headspace, you know?
I think the other thing too is ritual. That's the word I kept hearing when you asked that question, ritual. I know when I was going through a lot of anxiety, it's so fun to be a woman. I went to Headspace, which is an app that is a 10-minute meditation, and they have Calm and they have Headspace, and I did it every morning. As soon as I opened my eyes, I grabbed my phone, I sat in my recliner, and I put on Headspace and did the 10-minute meditation. And so if you do that 5, 6, 10 days in a row, that'll be the thing that you do, right? Or wake up and walk. A lot of people wake up and just put their shoes on right out of bed, whatever, yoga pants, pajamas, put your shoes on and go for your walk. That's another thing that people do. So it's about ritual. In the program of recovery, they do something called 90 and 90. And the reason they do that is because 90 days develops a habit. So if you really want to do something, make a commitment to maybe set an alarm on your phone to do it for 90 days. And then before you know it, that 90 days becomes the rest of your life. Yeah. Except with the gym, I have not gotten that one yet. And I love you, Tanya. I love what you said. I wanted to say something about what you said earlier too. What Tanya said. Tanya's one of my dearest best friends for 100 years, give or take. And she was saying about surrounding yourself with people that support you, and she's one of my greatest supporters, and I'm one of her greatest supporters. But I think the flip side of that is get rid of the naysayers.
Yeah.
Those people that you're saying, you're trying to tell them you're doing something. And as I said that, I thought, how do you get rid of your mother? But right? And that's not necessarily my mom, but I know a lot of us have parents and siblings that were like, are you still trying to write that book? Give it up. You're not going to. So you know what? My mother has an expression, I don't cast my pearls to swine, right? Like you don't, and I think that's probably from the Bible. But I can't give my mother credit on that. But at the end of the day, don't cast your pearls for swine, which means if you're so excited to do something, don't tell the person that's going to say, you can't do that. You're never going to do that. You've been writing that book for 12 years. you don't share that with them. You only share your pearls with the people that love and support you and that build you up, and you keep it very quiet with the people that are going to knock you down. Even a secret.
But I think, you know, for me, it was kind of surprising to see who those people are, you know? I mean, because when you do start to talk about that kind of stuff, you'll be surprised at the people you think that would support you and that really don't. So, you know what? That's just another...
Just more information.
You just more information, right. So you just, right. Bye, Felicia. Yeah. And you know, we always say find your tribe, but it's really true. Just find the people that really support you and want to help you, you know? Like Lori, my friend Lori, she's over here. I mean, we've been friends. She's
a tribe member.
She's like, don't show me.
She's in our tribe.
She's like, I'm gonna cry. So Lori has, you know, been a stay-at-home mom for many years, and she's had some health issues and a lot going on, and, you know, we kind of reconnected again with this whole thing. She loves the show, and I'm like, why don't you come be my sales director? Like, she's amazing. Like, she's you know, she's got phone calls all set up next week. Like, she's just on it, and she's a I mean, she used to run law offices, many chiropractic offices, whatever, law, chiropractic, it's all the same thing. But she really,
Susan.
That's right, Ron. That's right. So she knows what, you know, she knows what she's doing, and she's really good at it, and she's motivated. And so I think, you know, you kind of find those people, and maybe they weren't those people 5 years ago, but now you're realizing they're coming back into your life for a reason, you know, then you know,
Find
you see how you can make that work. Because people come and go, you know. People
reason, season,
and that's
lifetime.
okay. Like, it's really okay. You know, even like love relationships, marriages, like, things come and go, and that's okay. You know, we're all different people at different stages of our lives. I was a completely different person in my 20s. I was crazy. I'm still a little bit crazy. I hit it well, Sarah. I hit it well.
Let's just say we're really excited that in college there were not cell phones.
Oh my gosh, yes. No social media in college.
Yes.
Thank God.
The stalking laws, yes, that would have been bad.
That's right.
Slightly codependent, maybe.
Diane and I were crazy 10, 20 years ago, right,
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Not anymore, right. All right, any other questions?
Any other questions? These are great questions.
Dana?
I've been here 5 years. 6 years.
Yeah.
You're from North Carolina.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Orlando.
Yeah.
Moved
To North Carolina.
with my husband,
Yeah.
So we've been here 6 years. I've been so out of sorts.
Yeah.
I remember about, I don't know how long ago it was, a year ago. One of y'all said, it'll take you about 5 years to get adjusted. About 6 months ago, I quit my job. Quit my job. Still haven't really figured it out yet.
Right.
But the signs are coming.
Yeah.
And they're coming by, I've never been like a quote person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
post quote or whatever.
Yeah.
But lately I've been
Yeah.
I got Peloton.
Awesome.
I work out every day.
Awesome.
So it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. I haven't seen that my tribe, but I met my tribe.
Yeah.
Yes. Aww.
Yeah.
If it's not watching y'all, it's Netflixing y'all.
I love it. We need to get on Netflix. Thanks, Dana.
It does. It takes the time, but I'm so glad.
Haven't met my tribe.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
getting closer to the
What do you
circle.
love to do? Like, what sets your soul on fire?
Well, I love the beach. I'm very creative. Yeah. I recently did a wedding where I did all of the table numbers and signs and
like events.
Events.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just creative. I don't really know yet.
Yeah.
You know, I
You'll
can
figure it
paint.
out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can paint. I'm a,
I can't imagine a bigger industry in Florida than the wedding industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quit a nursing job. I'm a nurse.
Oh.
That's it.
So you needed to heal yourself a little bit.
I definitely
For everyone else. Good
Yeah.
for you. That's what it sounds like. You're healing yourself. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Time for you, Mama. How about do nothing? My recommendation recommendation is do nothing for a minute. Woo.
It's hard to do nothing, though, isn't it?
For you.
It's really hard to do
strap
nothing.
you in, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, she needs more. She needs more champagne.
Way to go, Dana.
5
That's
kids.
amazing.
Yeah,
and
you
taking
will.
care of yourself. And the more
Yeah.
you take care of yourself, the more things are going to be clear,
Yes.
and everything is going to be clear to you. There's a thing called the muddy jar. It's my favorite thing in the world. You take a jar, put mud in the bottom and water in the top, and shake it, right? That's what most of us do in our lives. We just shake it. We're a nurse. We have 5 kids we're running in 10 directions, and that's the muddy jar. But if you set that jar down and come back 5 hours later, it's mud and water, and it's so clear. Everything becomes so clear. So it sounds like you put down the muddy jar and just kind of,
Yeah.
It
It's
will.
funny on our wellness retreat, which was we went through this. These Andy and Lee Vallely, and they have this company called Spread Happy, and they do these wellness retreats and these workshops, and they use a snow globe. To the same thing, you know, and they use a snow globe, and they say, you know, when the chaos is all around you, you don't make good decisions, but when you let it settle, you know, you make good decisions. And, you know, their whole thing is it's all, you know, we all see life through our thinking, you know, it's what we think about things. It's not necessarily reality, you know, like we think about what we think about ourselves. You know, we're our own worst critics a lot of times. And it's not reality.
Yeah.
It's just all in our thinking, you know?
Lord.
And if we can get out of that crazy, we really, Aww.
Oh,
I'm
we're
so glad you
you're
came.
here.
So glad you came.
And you do. You fit
Yeah.
right into the circle and tribe.
Yeah. We actually saw Dana when we were in the Bahamas for a
That's
friend's
wild.
birthday. I know, is that
That's
crazy?
so crazy.
She was there with her husband, and we're
That's
like,
a
oh my-
sign.
That is a sign, right?
That's
Let's all go to the Bahamas.
That's a sign that we should go to the Bahamas.
Let's go now.
Love it. Any other questions, comments? This is all such good stuff. We don't want it to end.
All the guys are like, oh God, just please make it
Wrap
in.
this up. That's a wrap.
He's living through an episode of Lifetime.
That's not true. I grew up with 5 sisters and no brother.
Oh,
so
5
you
sisters,
get it.
you're used to it. You've been broken a long time ago.
I was put in line young.
Oh, I love it.
You used to waiting outside the waiting room for like 6.5 hours if you had 5 sisters. Well done.
Amazing.
Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us. And
Yes, and I just want to give another quick shout out to the whole crew. Bruce, our director, Stephanie, our executive producer, Gene, the videographer, and he does all of our commercial production. Brendan, who is our IT guy
Specialist.
slash cameraman, and Lori, who's now our sales director.
And my husband, who is always my rock and supporter, and all of our friends.
I'm so much calmer for this show than I was for the last one.
Because you're adjusting and
I
feeling
know,
competence.
I know. It really
Told
was.
you it would happen.
That's
It
right.
happens.
It's true.
Yeah.
Are you
Every
getting
time
there
we
too?
get
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to tell you, there is a lot on Bruce's shoulders
Oh,
for this. Like,
guys,
it's all
just so
on
much.
Bruce to make sure that we're getting it across
pressure.
and everything. All the graphics are popped up and all the commercials run. So he deserves some of that champagne.
You're doing a
All
great
right.
job, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. Our next live on location show is going to be February 22nd
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks, and
From
that will
today.
be at the Salt Suite in Palm Beach Gardens. Closer
4
to you,
p.m.
closer to you. So you guys
Yes.
should come for that too. Make sure you guys got your goodie bags before you leave from Diane and Ocean West Property Management. Again, Diane, thank you
so much.
You're amazing. You're amazing. And once again, thank you to Periwinkle for our clothes. Yes. No. Okay, so these jeans, they're AG, just so you know, because I love AG white jeans. And these, we love them.
same.
They're the same pair.
We're twinning.
But we love them so much, we actually
actually
bought
bought
them that day. We're like, oh, no, we got to have those.
We're not giving these back.
Yeah.
We're not giving these back.
Yeah. So,
They are special
you know, because
material.
white jeans can make you
It
look
is.
like,
Yeah, you reach
You
a
know.
certain age
Yeah.
and white jeans are not an option. Yes,
These are really
exactly.
good. Yeah.
So these are very
So go
nice.
get you some white jeans and some
Yeah,
cute tops
girl.
from Periwinkle. All right. Thank
That's
you
it.
guys. Bye.
Bye.